Let's talk about the future of the Phillies. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Stats Videocast, and today we're going to be talking about the future of the Phillies, as Matt will be joining the VCast, as he's going to be making his Phillies Hot Stove guest debut. So welcome to the show, Matt.
Thanks for having me, Luke. I'm excited.
Of course, yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Now, guys, before we get into this video, please subscribe if you haven't not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So the first topic of discussion I want to be talking about today, and it's a big topic that a lot of people are talking about, is the future of Phillies first baseman Rhys Haskins. Of course, his season was ended early due to that arm injury, of course, when he was at first base, and it looked like his hand was bent back in a weird way, and of course he did have Tommy John surgery on that arm, so it looks like he will miss part of spring training, but he looks like he will be ready for opening day. So, of course, he has had an up and down career. I mean, he's an on-base machine, but his power numbers have been up and down. He does not hit for a high average. He hits around 240, 250. That's where his career average has been for batting average. And I just want to get your opinion of, what do you think of Rhys Haskins? What do you think of his future with the Phillies? How many years do you think he's going to be here? Do you think that he's panned out in a good way? Let me just get that for a second.
Yeah, of course. So obviously, I'm actually a really big fan of Rhys. As you said, he is a streaky hitter. He has his highs and lows. Early last season he was hitting 200 or so back in August. But you gotta love his firepower when he is on. He really makes
amazing
contact with the ball. He gets on base for us. So, I'm excited to see him in the future.
Yeah, man, me too. Yeah, I mean, once again, we all know the potential is there for him to be great. It's just a matter of fact, and can he put it out in the field? Can he get it all together? And of course, a lot of life is mental, a lot of baseball is mental as well. So, you gotta turn off your brain sometimes and just go out there and try to play the game. Of course, it's easier said than done. Of course, injuries have played a little bit of a factor. Not too bad, of course. He was kind of turning on at the end of this year before he got hurt. But I look forward to hopefully potentially a great season out of Rhys Haskins in 2021. Now, another topic of discussion is going to move on here is 13-year, $330 million acquisition. Bryce Harper was signed last year in March to that massive contract. He's put up great numbers, of course, way above the league average. The Fangraphs has said that he's actually worth more than the money he's being paid currently. He's put up great numbers. He's all around just a great athlete. I mean, he's a superstar, of course. Got him from the Washington Nationals. Just a huge star talent who's going to sell tickets. And he's a great investment for any baseball team, especially like the Phillies, who have a very, very passionate fan base who, love and support their players, of course, when they're going good. When things are not going good, they're not going to. But, of course, they always have their back. But I think a guy like Bryce Harper really fits well into this city with his, a guy like Bryce Harper's mentality and, his work ethic and, just how hard he works and, how high he can go. What are your thoughts on Bryce Harper? How well do you think he's performed in the first 2 years in Philadelphia? Of course, first year and a half, of course, because of the shortened season this year, not a full season. But how do you think he's performed in this year and a half? I'll say.
Obviously, Bryce Harper is entering his third season as a Philly, and honestly, his expectations, during his first two seasons, have been pretty good. Obviously he signed that 13-year, $330 million contract. I think a guy like him, he's made for this city, with his passion, his love for the game. He's going to be loved,
absolutely,
by the city of Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
But, you just got to love his firepower.
You do.
I think he's
amazing.
With the roster construction right now, obviously we got doubts of signing JT Realmuto and Didi.
Yeah, hopefully JT Realmuto.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, hopefully we can get him back. So.
Right. So if we can't get those two back, we're probably going to have Harper to have another, potential, MVP season like he did in 2015 with the Nationals.
Yeah, which is a lot to ask
So
for. Not a lot to ask for. I mean, I think he's definitely capable of it. I mean, now is he going to hit 330 again? Not necessarily, but batting average doesn't mean everything. I mean, I definitely think he is going to, and definitely has the potential of putting up 40 to 50 home runs and driving in 100 and over 120 runs. I mean, in the season, he's definitely capable of it.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that. He's a guy that he'll get you on base. He gets a lot of walks.
Absolutely. Walk machine.
But
it's unbelievable.
He is. I'm excited for him.
Yeah, me too. I really am. I've really been impressed with him. And of course, I had a debate with John, last week about it, and of course we all, have our different opinions. But I think, it seems like from what you said, I think we can agree that he's really done the job he's needed to do here, and he is not the problem.
Right, I agree, and especially we got.
Exactly.
Yeah, with the help of Joe Girardi.
Great, he's amazing.
With his
experience,
elite, coaching experience, I think
great,
he's really
great
going to help Harper. Right, into a great player, and obviously with the new signing of Stan Fold.
That's a great move by the front office. That's amazing.
I think Harper's going to benefit from that. And
absolutely. I mean, he's because he's a young guy, he can relate to the the players, because he's only like 39 years old. That's one of the good things about hiring a younger front office executive like Sanfold.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just another topic of discussion here. I just want to bring up JT Realmuto. Of course, the market for him, and the Mets were rumored to be, deeply involved in the Realmuto sweepstakes. They're out now after signing James McCann 2 weeks ago. Of course, you still got the Nationals looming. They just went out and traded for Josh Bell, the Pittsburgh Pirates, on Christmas Eve. Of course, it's not a free agent signing; it was a trade. But that's still a big move that Mike Rizzo, GM and president of the Nationals, did make. And of course, you have the teams like the Angels, who I think are going to be going after Trevor Bauer, and I think they should. And of course, you have teams like the Blue Jays in as well. And arguably, I think it's going to drag out until the very end, closer to possibly in the spring training, which I hope it doesn't, because players that don't have a full spring training do not properly, it's just that's why they have spring training. If you don't have a full spring training, it messes you up. It messes up your season. And you saw that a little bit with Harper. I understand he had a great year last year. In 2019, but arguably I think he could have done a little bit better. I've said that. I mean, still was a great year, but I think his bar is higher. I hate to see him show up late to spring training if he signed late, but at least we still got him. But what do you think of this JT Realmuto sweepstakes? How do you think it's going, and how confident are you in the Phillies re-signing JT Realmuto with possible reunion?
Listen, when you got the best player at their particular position in the entire league, you got to spend whatever you can to maintain and keep that player, right?
Exactly.
So,
spot on.
He's been the best. He's been the best catcher in baseball for at least the past 2 seasons or so.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a great.
Phenomenal.
He bringing in a player like him with his caliber. He's gonna produce. He's gonna give you the home runs. He's gonna give you the runs.
Absolutely.
He's gonna get on base. He's gonna give you the offense that you want. But it's
mm-hmm.
I just don't really know what our management team is going to do. Obviously, we really haven't heard much from them. Traditionally the Phillies don't like going over the luxury tax. But I just want to,
mm-hmm.
Luke, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think we'll spend the money on JT, or do you think we'll, equally distribute the money, towards the bullpen or bringing in like other pieces?
Mm-hmm. Well, Matt, let me just put it to you this way. I think there's 2 different ways you could look at this. The question is, are the Phillies willing to go the extra mile to sign JT Realmuto and, break out the big money? And my answer is no. I mean, they've shown me no, incentive that they want to spend money, and, spend a lot of money, bringing back JT Realmuto. I think it would have already been done already. The reason why I think he is coming back is because of the weak market, in his free agent market. I mean, because he's just really sent a lot of teams away, like the Mets. I mean, there's no question the Mets were in talks with him. And Steve Cohen, apparently the most aggressive owner in sports, wasn't even to match his his offer, of course. I mean, he wasn't even willing to match JT Muto's offer, and this goes to show me his asking price is way too high. The fact that Steve Cohen couldn't even pay it really shows something. He's the richest owners, one of the richest owners in sports. So, do I think the Phillies are willing to spend the money for JT Muto? No. But do I think he will re-sign with the Phillies? Yes, because of the weak market, because the Blue Jays are not willing to spend that kind of money. The Nationals, I don't understand. I just don't really get the whole Nationals thing. You already have Yan Gomez back there. We had a good, solid season. I think they like the whole platoon situation. Rizzo, the Nationals GM and president, is not known for going out and signing big-name position players. And you got the Angels, who they don't need more offense; they need pitching. So I think the Phillies are he's going to fall in the Phillies' lap. But the Phillies fans need to be patient. Me saying this, I do think he will resign, but it's not going to be anytime soon. It's going to be a long time, so we'll all have to be patient. So that's how I feel about JT. It's going to be dragging out. It's going to drag out until the very end. And I do think in the end we will get him.
Right. If anything, I do see him signing with New York. That's like all things considered.
Yeah. For sure. I thought he was going to go in the Mets, no doubt. I thought it was over. And then when the Mets signed James McCann, I was really encouraged because I thought for sure we can possibly get him back because no other team really makes sense or is willing to spend the money. But honestly, I just think that when you trade your number one prospect, a great young catcher and a great pitching prospect, and Will Stewart, you have to get him back. And the fan pressure also plays into that as well.
Exactly. And, I do see where JT's coming from. Obviously, he wants to get paid, rightfully so.
Absolutely. Every free agent should be like that.
Exactly. But do you think that JT will, negotiate a little bit just, to help the team out? Or do you think what do you think?
I don't think. It depends. I mean, I don't really know JT Muto too well. He's a laid-back guy from Oklahoma. I don't really know him too well. So I couldn't really answer that question. You just don't know. I mean, because of course, Bryce Harper took more years on his contract, so he had a lower, AAV, so the Phillies can go out and sign more people. But of course, he's not really. I mean, honestly, of course, I'm happy that Bryce Harper did that. I mean, he's a good guy for doing that. But in the end, he still is going to get all his money. It's just he just spread it out more. So, that's just because, of course, I mean, once again, I love Bryce Harper. He's my favorite player, but you got to factor that in. But is he willing to take a discount? I'm not so sure about that because the Phillies are still not committed. If he does take this discount, let's say the Phillies still don't go out and spend some of the money that they could have spent on Realmuto when they do get him back, hopefully. The money that, Realmuto, you said, I'm going to sign for less money so you can go out and spend this money that I'm not going to be taking on relief pitching, and they don't do it, they don't go out and spend money on relief pitching, then I think that's just going to make, Realmuto furious. And the Phillies have still not gone out, even now, and gone out and signed relief pitching. So what gives JT Realmuto the impression that the Phillies would still do it, even if he gave him the discount? So I don't know. I think I'm going to say that's a maybe. I don't know. I truly don't know.
Yeah, Luke, it's honestly really it's going to be interesting to see because the Phillies can take. There's many different avenues right now that the Phillies can go down.
Yeah, I know.
They can either
I
sign.
agree.
They can.
We're not just one player away either.
Exactly. They can either sign or give the big bucks to JT. They can sign multiple, pitchers that will help us and improve our bullpen.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot right now. I totally agree with you, Matt. And getting to the bullpen. Let's just talk about this for a sec. Horrible, absolutely horrible. The second highest bullpen ERA in the game's history, and it was in a 60-game season. And guess who held the record for the highest bullpen ERA in Major League Baseball history? The Phillies. It was the 1930 Phillies. So the Phillies just doubling in the history books. Am I right? It was a historically just bad season in the bullpen. You got guys like Brandon Workman, Heath Hembree, Hector Neris, who I don't really mind, but he just didn't have the best of seasons. Of course, you have guys like David Phelps, who came over here from the Milwaukee Brewers, really struggled. Blake Parker was a bright spot. Jose Alvarez was a bright spot until he had that horrible, devastating season-ending injury. But the Phillies bullpen was just historically terrible. And I said this before, it's going to be hard to fix this bullpen in just one offseason. How about that for a sec? How do you feel about the Phillies' horrendous bullpen?
It's a shame, Luke. And I was doing some research, and I actually found out that we had 4 pitchers in our bullpen that had over 16 ERA. Like, that is just absurd. That, like,
I know.
that's just we're just carrying dead weight at that point,
I know. I know. I mean, it's just honestly, I feel like, what Joe Girardi said? He said, honestly, I believe that it actually would have gone better if we would have said what pitch was coming to the hitter. He said, I don't think it ever wouldn't have ended up as bad as it did. I mean, that's what Joe Girardi said. And obviously he was joking, but he's like, he's right. I mean, like, it was so terrible. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, in a sense, he's actually right about that. Like, it couldn't have gone any worse. It was so bad.
Right.
And, let me ask you this again, Matt. Do you think that this can be solved in one off season? You talk about the different avenues that the Phillies could take. Do you think that, in 2021, this is going to be significantly a better bullpen, a stronger bullpen with better
realistically, I don't think it can be solved in one season.
No, there's no question. I agree with you. Yeah.
Right. I think it's just going to take
And the Phillies have still not shown me that they're committed to going out and getting a good bullpen.
Right. But obviously we brought in a great guy in Dave Dombrowski. He's the
very smart. I trust him.
Operations.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, bringing in a guy like Dave, like, if you bring in a guy like Dave Dombrowski, you're a win now team. And
absolutely, you have to be.
Yeah, right. I think it's just going to be, we just got to be patient. We can't rush things.
Yeah.
It's an investment. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I do still think that we need another starting pitcher. I mean, I love Aaron Nola, love Zach Wheeler. I like Zach Eflin as a number 3, number 4. I think he's proven that he can be. But I still think, of course, with the loss of Jake Arrieta, who once again isn't really lost because he was so terrible. I do think that we need to go out and sign another starting pitcher on the free agent market. I mean, there's some names out there. I mean, there's some trades that we can make. So, a lot of things are in our control. Of course, not me and you, but in the Phillies' control that they can do to improve their team. And I'm going to be patient. I mean, of course, it's like the holiday season. Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, once this all passes, in January, I'm hoping that we get to work. We're running out of time. We got like a month and a half, until we report to spring training in Clearwater, Florida. So we got to get to work here.
Yeah, right. So I do agree with you that we need to sign, another starting pitcher for the rotation. But moving forward, I think the top 3 spots in the rotation are already solidified with Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, and Zach Eflin, as you said.
And another thing is the development of Spencer Howard, which is crucial. I mean, is he going to develop? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, he's going to be good. He has good stuff.
He's got a ton of potential.
Absolutely.
He's shown flashes that he can be a great player, but it's just
he can.
It's the consistency, Luke. It's the consistency that I worry about.
Spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So going back with Nola, Wheeler, and Eflin, this trio, really impressed me during the the 2020 season as Wheeler excelled in his first season as a Philly, and Eflin took steps forward. But Luke, I just these are my thoughts right now. I think the Phillies need to do a better job of we need to allow the starters to pitch longer.
Exactly.
At times during the last season, Wheeler would be cruising through 6 innings with maybe 2 hits given up, and maybe 1 earned run. But I feel like we need to allow the starting pitchers to pitch longer so we don't have to use our bullpen as much.
Exactly.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, going back to, what I was talking about with the, rotation and everything. I mean, I understand with what you're saying. I completely agree with what, everything you're saying.
Right.
But, I mean, going back to it again, I mean, I think, going back to Spencer Howard, because I really like what you said about Spencer Howard, about the consistency, and also his stamina wasn't there as well. But I agree with what you're saying about the bullpen as well, because, we need to go out there. I mean, Aaron Nola's September collapses are very, very concerning. And it wasn't even a 162 game season this year, and he still collapsed. I mean, that was really concerning. It's dude, it's a 60 game season, you still collapsed, and you had Zach Wheeler in your number 2. So the pressure should be off, and you didn't have a full season, and you're still collapsing. It was really concerning. And we need our guys like Vince Velasquez. Of course, we shouldn't even have him on the team because we should have not entered him. We need, as you just said, we need him to go more than 5 innings to take the pressure off of the bullpen.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, because we need stamina. Yeah.
Exactly. And as a fan standpoint, you know, there's big questions as to how the Phillies are going to fill out the rotation, you know, outside of our big three, you know, in Nola, Wheeler, and Eflin. So, you know, obviously Jake Arrieta is entering free agency. And despite his inconsistencies, you know, he was still a regular in the Phillies rotation, you know, last season.
Right.
I don't think
The injuries concern me, of course. No, he's not. He's gone.
He's gone. And, you know, obviously Spencer Howard and Vince Velasquez both made several starts in 2020. But I just don't think neither is a guaranteed stick in the rotation for the entire 2021
I agree.
season. I just don't think they've done enough to, you know, solidify their spot in the rotation, you know, Luke?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. You got to go out there and earn it. And I mean, as you said with Zach Eflin, I mean, I understand he had a good year this year, but I think I need to see another full season of Zach Eflin at that level to really get me sold on this. Is he a reliable starting pitcher who could, you know, slot in number 3 or number 4? You know what I'm saying? I need to see another season out of him with that, you know, healthy season, and we'll see if we could take it from there. So, Matt, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really enjoyed this talk. I really like the points you made, and I think we, really covered a lot of ground.
Hey, Luke, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yes. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies House on Instagram, or Harper Next Instagram, Cartest 267-225-3392. Email me, phillieshouse@gmail.com. I was joined by Matt today as we were talking about the Phils. We had a good talk, Matt, once again. It was a pleasure. I hope you have it on again soon.
Thanks a lot, Luke. We'll see you soon.
Of course. All right, guys, I am Luke, and I'll talk to you all later. I'll see you.